And now, Giant Sports Talk Live. Here are your hosts, Eric and Glenn.
We're talking Giants every day. From McCovey Cove to the Oracle Park lights, Eric and Glenn keep the fire burning bright, fighting for the glory, no matter what it costs us, breaking down the moments from the wins to the losses.
I like it.
Giant Sports Talk, we're here for the ride. Eric and Glenn with the fan base pride, talking dreams, will they contend? But we'll back the Giants till the very
No love.
end.
Hi, Eric. No love.
Hey. You're there.
Oh, there you go. Okay. I love Anthony. Now there's more Katna. Can't be a show without more Katna. There we go. See my light? I was geared up for a big day, but I guess we don't really need that.
Not yet.
Giants all the time.
It's on the ready. It's on the ready.
All right, welcome to Giant Sports Talk Live here Monday night. First day, winter meetings, Glenn. It has come and it is gone. It is now, about 11 o'clock? Just shortly after over in Orlando, Florida. Hey, you never know. Maybe something breaks late. Maybe it doesn't. But as of now.
We've had late night stuff go down before,
Yeah,
Eric.
well, we have. Absolutely. So, well, there you go, man. There's nothing to report as of yet. Let's see what happens. And look.
That kind of day, isn't it?
And another thing is Buster Only, he had reported earlier that trades are percolating. The trade market is percolating, and he's saying the free agent market is going to be very, very slow. So there may not be any free agent signings during the winter meetings. So just again, you're gonna have to have some patience, right? Good things come to those who wait. I hope, because look, it is what it is, man. Especially when you have a lot of free agents who are represented by Scott Boras.
Ooh.
He tends to drag things out, and it's just, hey, that's just the way it is. What's up, Mike? But they're saying trades are percolating. So maybe I think maybe that's what we're going to see over here over this next week. Maybe we're going to see a lot of trades go down. And
GM over there in Detroit he's not shied away from saying that, he says, I'm answering the phones. So,
what are you talking about?
I read an article today, Eric.
Uh-huh.
In fact, it's on my other phone. I read the article, and the basis of the first paragraph was Detroit Tigers out there looking for pitching, willing possibly to deal Skubal. I go, well, that's an oxymoron if I've ever heard one. You got the best pitcher. Hey. We're looking for pitching.
Okay, I don't want to go there yet, but I got an article, and it's from The Athletic, and Ken Rosenthal had retweeted it, and we'll talk about it. It's quite interesting. But I'll tell you what, let's start with the Giants real quick, and then we could get into all the Skubal stuff. Some mixed messages coming out, right? You had Greg Johnson in the beginning of the offseason. We talked about this a million times, saying, we're not going to be spending a big contract long-term on a starting pitcher. It's not going to happen. According to Greg Johnson, the principal owner of the San Francisco Giants, today it seems like the San Francisco Giants are walking that back. For whatever reason, maybe they're cleaning up what the mess that Greg Johnson had created with that statement. When you make those type of announcements, you lose your leverage. So maybe the Giants are trying to get that leverage back, because it's being reported. I think John Morrissey talked about it. Other people have talked about it, that the Giants supposedly are in on some of these top arms, whatever that may be. I mean, hey, you guys take your pick. They didn't say free agent. They didn't say trade. They just said the Giants are going to be in on one of these big arms, which is great, man. Yeah, that's something that you want to hear. You want to hear the Giants are entertaining that, and that they're looking to get a legitimate starter. So, hey,
I know, but Eric, every article I've read is the Giants are in on him. The Giants are in on him.
Of course. I mean, that's
Giants are in on everybody.
But they also are saying they're going to get one of the big arms. Whatever that means, take it for what it's worth, man. I'm just, don't kill the messenger. I'm just reiterating what I'm seeing out there.
Those are strong words to come across.
They are.
These winter media say, we're getting a big arm. I mean, it takes two to tango, buddy.
Well, look, it does, right? Whether it's with a team, with a trade, or whether it's with the free agent.
Free agency.
Free agent's a little bit different, man. I tell you, it's going to be quite interesting on how this is all going to go down. I'm glad
if you're Buster Posey, and I'm a big arm, big mouth, but a big arm. What's your sales technique? How are you selling me?
Shit.
How are you selling me on signing? Because I'm looking around this lineup and I'm still saying, word today. I sent you a little note earlier tonight. Couple of articles I read about Harrison Bader. Giants have strong interest in Harrison Bader for the outfield. And I'm thinking, I looked at his stats, Eric, 57 RBI guy. I'm like, okay,
look, and I'm telling you,
defense, but
I'll tell you what,
offense last year, Eric, we got to get better.
And I'll tell you what, I will be okay with a Harrison Bader if you're going out there and getting a legitimate arm. If you're getting a legitimate arm, because then you'll have a three-headed monster in Webb, Ray, and in whoever that guy is. And look, Ray may drop down to the number 3, depending on who they sign. And look, hey, let's not forget, guys, Robbie Ray will probably not be back with the Giants next year. I mean, look, you never know. But this is his last year under contract with the San Francisco Giants. So that's something else that the Giants have to look at, right? So you got to have someone that's going to be in there to fill the shoes of Robbie Ray, which is the number 2 currently in the organization as far as in the rotation. So you got to have to think about that stuff. And it's fascinating. And here's the thing. There are so many different ways that the Giants could go out there and get better as far as adding a legitimate pitcher. You could go by the way of paying money. You could go by the way of paying with prospects. It's all over the place. And look, if the Giants want to break it open and spend a little bit more and maybe just go a bit over the CBT, that's okay, right? Because you're putting a team together, and let's see what happens. I'm hoping, because look, when Greg Johnson came out and made those statements, it sent the entire fan base into a tizzy,
and rightly so.
And it should, right? Absolutely, because look, this is your principal owner coming out and saying this kind of stuff, and it's like, come on, man, don't be saying. Look, there's got to be a way that you could say that without saying it, right? Come on.
I don't think Harrison Bader moves the needle for me, Eric. I think it's kind of it's 17 home runs, 57 RBIs. It just doesn't cut it for me.
I hear you. And look, if they do sign a Bader, do I think that's going to be it? No, I don't think that's going to be the only piece that the Giants add. Look, the Giants need to have better defense. Their defense last year was atrocious. Atrocious. So you got to clean that up. You're not going to be able to fill up a lineup of all these boppers all over the place. You can't. Yeah. It's impossible. So you're going to have to improve where you can improve in certain areas, but then there's other areas where you got to kind of just, hey, let's blow it out of the freaking water type of stuff.
The one thing I've been looking for, Eric, for years now, you know it, I talked about it many a time, is speed. I'd like to find somebody who adds, some road runner to the base paths, if you will. Gets on, and there's the threat. There's no threat, Eric.
Well, you know what,
we get a guy on, and there's no threat.
You know what the problem is? There is threats. The problem is they just didn't take advantage of it. Willie Adames, when he was in Milwaukee, was stealing bases all over the place, right? Jung-Hoo Lee has got some speed. He should be able to steal you some bags. Elliot Ramos last year had some speed. Matt Chapman has some speed, and he
does.
should have been. The problem is that the organization seemed to frown upon stealing that bag for whatever reason, right? And look, you can't be doing that.
It's probably because we got so few hits, Eric. You get them on, you don't want to run them off the base like that.
Yeah, and then maybe, hey, you
but
never know.
maybe too. Maybe with a new manager, there'll be a new mindset too, Eric.
Maybe.
We don't know.
And there you go. And we've talked about Vitello. He wants to be aggressive. And look, that's a way of being aggressive. I'm okay with that. Let's go.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
All right.
I just like speed. I like speed, and we got to get guys who can get the bat and the ball. Our base driving runners in, Eric, that was atrocious last year. I don't know where we sat in the majors, but it was bad. I mean, I can't tell you the number of games. If I sat back for a few minutes, I could make some notes, and I could come up with at least half a dozen games where we've had the bases loaded and nobody out and couldn't score a freaking run, Eric.
Yeah.
Or runners at second and third, nobody out. Runners at second and third, my mindset is worst case scenario. Drive the ball in the air, sack fly, doesn't hurt your average. Who cares?
Right.
We get the run in. Couldn't even do that, Eric. Double play balls killed us. It was just,
It was.
And again, another reason why last year was so, I just, last year for me, Eric, was just a brutal year.
It was. No, and look, and here's the thing. The Giants were right there. Glenn, they were literally 2 wins away from getting into that third wild card. Now, what would they have done in the wild card? Oh, we don't know. I mean, we're talking counterfactual here. So we could argue that up one side down the other, and it's not going to get us anywhere. But let's take a look at this. This is the John Shea article. Kind of sums up of what we heard from the Giants today, guys. Interesting. Here we go. Here is the header. As Buster Posey seeks upgrades to Giants rotation, the team will listen on Bryce Eldridge.
Who wrote this one? Who did you say wrote this one?
John Shea, the San Francisco Standard. Guys, in the description, you'll be able to get a link to this article. So go check it out. John Shea, fantastic journalist. Been in the Bay Area for a long time. The president of baseball operations said the top prospect has a chance to be one of the biggest impact bats for the next 10 to 15 years. All right, look at that.
For the Giants?
Yeah. Well, did he say that?
To be determined.
No, I don't see that. No, hey, there you go, Glenn. You're catching on. A lot of this stuff is what is not being said rather than what is being said, okay?
Nicely said, Eric. Well done.
Right, there you go. All right, starting pitching is the Giants' number 1 focus at this week's winter meetings. And Buster Posey is open to trading for accomplished rotation piece or signing them through free agency. So, hey, there you go. He's ready to go. I mean, again, this is John Shea talking. And look, he's not speaking for the organization, but he's out there saying Buster Posey is open to trading accomplished rotation pieces or signing them through free agency. One way or another, the Giants are going to spend. And remember, I did the show a while back, Glenn. Remember? There's different ways to spend money or prospects. So let's see what happens. Here we go. Popular narrative entering the meetings was the Giants were out on big-name free agent starters in part because of Greg Johnson's comment on this to the Standard. Again, being very cautious. But on Monday, what is today? Monday. While sitting in his hotel suite between Zach Manasian and new manager Tony Vitello, Posey suggested that he has trust in ownership to be on board on certain players who will be costly.
But again, Eric, trust in ownership to be on board. Does that mean that really doesn't tell me the whole story? Does that mean, yeah, they're on board if I trade Eldridge away?
Well, here it is. This is what they're okay. It tells me that there's some buy-in from ownership from with what Buster Posey wants to do.
I think ownership should be tasting it right now. We're close. We're close.
And here's the thing. They're not saying a certain player. They're saying certain players.
Who will be
That's
costly.
plural. All right, let's go, man. Let's go.
What does costly mean, Eric? Costly means they're going to be quality.
What's costly? We've talked about this. It could go be different ways, man. But this is what I'm talking about. This is the shit that I want to hear from the San Francisco
Giants.
I
don't mind hearing that because costly players are not Weimer.
They're not Weimer. No, it's not. It's certain players who will be costly. We all can understand what costly can mean. And I love this, man. This is the shit that I want to hear during the winter meetings.
You know what? A few moves in the outfield, especially, Eric, you could see, wouldn't that be something for Vitello his first year? He gets to camp and they got to get rid of Drew.
Yeah.
You know what? If they did, that's a good sign.
You never know.
It's a good sign.
You never
All
know.
right.
Here we go.
Take it away.
I think as much as anything, Greg has shown that if we come to him and feel strongly about a certain player, he'll at least listen on it. All right. Well, there you go. Every team has to operate within certain sets or a certain set of parameters. And that's part of it. That makes sense. Look, I'm not saying that you can't just go out there and throw big contracts to every Tom, Dick, and Harry. You can't. It's not going to work, man. Greg and the ownership group didn't blink. Well, I shouldn't say they didn't blink when we brought the Devers deal to them. But obviously, they pushed it through for us. Again, this is coming from Buster Posey. This is his quotes. So I know, he's talking about Manasian, and I feel really lucky that we get to work with a group that if we're passionate about somebody and think it makes sense and makes the team better, they'll listen on it. All right, there you go. That's okay. I could dig that, right? You can't say yes to every damn thing. As much as we're fans of the San Francisco Giants, we want them to go out there and make a bunch of moves. And, sometimes we ask a little bit more than what we want. In the wake of the Dylan C. 7-year, $210 million contract, top remaining starters, Valdez, Suarez, Imai, and Zach Gallen. Okay. Now, when we talk about players being costly, Zach Gallen is not a guy that I think is what you would be considered a guy that should be costly. If he is costly, well, you better pass. I'm just saying. He might be a good pitcher, but I think the Giants need more than what Zach Gallen can bring.
He's a good pitcher, not a great pitcher. And when you're talking about spending the money, Eric, you're talking about bringing in quality. Zach Gallen's okay.
He's okay. And here's the thing. He's got a qualifying offer attached to him. If you're going to sign a contract to a guy who has a qualifying offer, I want that guy to be very good. Because remember, when you sign a player with a qualifying offer, you lose the draft pick and you lose international money. So if you're going to do that, you better be getting a guy that's a guy.
Framber Valdez.
Ranger Suarez. He's right around there. But Framber, definitely. Trading for a starting pitcher, there's a few of them out there, right? Mm-hmm. I've heard Hunter Green mentioned. I've heard Peralta mentioned. I've heard.
But again, it's the Giants. We're hearing it. Dude, I'm hearing everyone.
There's quite the possibility, and we're going to get into this later. Tarik Skubal. We're going to get into this. We're going to get into this.
Dude.
I'm telling you, he is going to get traded. He's getting traded. Whether or not he's coming to the Giants, we don't know. He is getting traded. And there's an article that we're going to bring up here shortly, and we'll talk about that more.
Wouldn't that be something? You're talking
about? Oh, dude, I'm telling you. Here we go. Ask if the Giants could be the landing spot for one of the big arms. Posey said, we're keeping our options open. I don't know how to dance around that better than that. Okay. In other words, he's not giving up state secrets, man. Get out of here, Armand. Get out of here, Armand. Get out of here, man. All right, here we go. Hey, Posey, look. That's the best you could do, right? You can't go out there and say, yeah, we're going to
get Armand, you should know better.
But yeah, I mean, come on. That's kind of what you have to say. At that point, Vitello, the former coach of University of Tennessee, quipped, I'm not going to miss recruits telling me they're keeping their options open. Ooh. Interesting.
Maybe this is his way. Maybe they're in on something huge, Eric. Maybe they're in on huge. He keeps the card.
Oh,
He's got the cards, Eric. He's got the cards. He holds them close.
Oh, man. I know you're going with that. I'm staying away. One of these recruits was a tall, lanky high school kid out of Virginia who chose the pros over college after the Giants drafted him 16th overall in the 23 draft. Since then, Bryce Eldridge had soared through the farm system while crushing baseballs at every stop. All right, here we go. Let's get into this here.
Can I ask you something, Eric? If we're talking about a trade for a pitcher, I think a quality arm, if it's a trade, I think if you're talking quality, top shelf, that could force their hand to trade Eldridge.
Maybe.
But
maybe.
And I don't want to sound sour on this, Eric, because I know. I mean, I'm a giant baseball fan enough to know that he could be huge in this organization. But I'll tell you, look like Wilmer Flores pictures. He always goes right in the camera.
I've seen the
question I have to ask you, Eric, has the novelty sort of worn? Like, here we are in the offseason, and I'm not, wait till next year. Little Eldridge next year. The novelty for me is sort of worn off to the point where if they traded him, Eric, I'm not going to lose any, I'll still choose. Okay.
Yeah, I'm not just, yeah. Guess what? I'm still waking up tomorrow.
I don't know how you feel about it, but there's sort of that novelty.
We'll get into that.
Kind of worn off a bit.
Well, yeah. And you know what? And you're talking about how the novelty, and I think the Giants are kind of building him up because there is a lot of talk about Buster or about Eldridge possibly being traded. And the Giants could be losing leverage. So you're going to have to talk him up. You have to.
Well, you have to after 30% strikeout rate, Eric.
Well, not just that. It's just because he's the top prospect that the Giants have, because he's in the top 15 of the top 100. Look, if you keep talking about him being traded, the Giants lose leverage, and if they're trying to trade him, and you don't want to do that. But yes, Tyler Rogers' glove. I heard the same thing. I think it's a guy from KTLA was talking about that the Dodgers may try to make a push for Tarik Skubal. You cannot. I'm telling you, you cannot allow that to happen. And I'm going a little bit off here, but if the Dodgers sign Tarik Skubal,
I don't agree, Eric, and I'll tell you why. I think that with Eldridge in camp, we got him. We got him in the nest, and I think we say we don't have much pitching. The young pitching that we have, Eric, you could put I think we could put a better package than the Dodgers together for Skubal.
Yeah, and look. We'll let me get into. Let's finish reading this and then we'll get into because I got some Skubal news to talk about as well.
All over the place here.
The front office is confident Eldridge will enjoy a successful career, but there's some redundancy.
Where, Eric? See, I'm not.
But there's some redundancy on the roster with both him and Rafi Devers. Both play first base. Both swing a left-handed bat. Posey said the Giants could make it work so that they share the position while alternating as designated hitters, and that's a little weird. Right, that's a little bit of a weird combo of Devers and Eldridge,
and both being lefties, right? Both being left-handed too.
Now, they did that with Dom Smith, but here's the difference: Dom Smith isn't the same type of bat that Devers is. He's more of your contact guy, right? And he plays great defense. Don't get me wrong, but he was more of your contact guy. Devers was your out there to go, your guy out there to do damage and knock in runs. Period. All right. On the other hand, Eldridge is an attractive trade piece, and teams have been asking about his availability. He could help fetch a top-notch starter to the Giants, though it would be tough letting him go with all his projected upside. Posey didn't waver when asked if he'd listen to trade proposals. We listen on everybody, but we think the sky is the limit for this guy. You got to say that.
Of course.
You have to, right? He just turned 21, right after season. I know he didn't put up great numbers in his limited playing time, but he didn't look like he was overmatched or scared. Yeah, we've said that. And that he had some really good at-bats for not even being 21. So I think sometimes you can say, well, the guy's young, and maybe you got to take that into account. I mean, this guy has flown through the system, playing in AA and AAA at 19 and 20 years old. I think, and here you go, this is what was going through the Twitterverse. I think he's got a chance to be one of the biggest impact bats for the next 10 to 15 years in the big leagues.
That should say at Oracle Park, wearing a Giant jersey, fill in the blank, Eric. I don't know. He's wavering. He's wavering, isn't he?
Yeah. So we'll listen. But we like him a lot.
See, we love him, but we're listening. We could trade.
Okay. Itella recalled recruiting Eldridge and shared their interactions with his new bosses. It was a lot. There's obviously a heavy interest from everybody in the country. It'll be good to catch up with him. So not a whole lot. All right. Let's see. It says one possibility is trading Eldridge, but it's no easy call. The Giants would need to be wowed in any trade offer. Meantime, it remains realistic for fans to dream of Devers and Eldridge, highlighting the team's lineup for many years to come. There you go. I think just based on a little bit of time that we were around Rafi last year, he's a team guy and wants to win. This is coming from the president of baseball operations, Buster Posey, right? Trust in Buster Posey, right? All this bullshit from Boston that freaking Rafi was some kind of cancer. Well, it was just that. It was a bunch of bullshit. If Bryce is beating down the door, Devers is going to want somebody protecting him in the lineup too. There you go. That makes sense, right? There you go. So there you go. That is the article from John Shea. Again, the link is in the description down below. All you got to do, hit the link. You guys can go read it yourself. Now,
if we were going to pick up a guy like Skubal, Eric, it's going to take one hell of a package.
Hold on. Let's do this.
Would you? I could see them wanting a pitcher back. Would you part with, if you had to deal Eldridge, a couple of, younger pitchers, minor league or whatever, the throw-ins, if you will, but the comers, the could-be's, okay? Let's just say that, the could-be's. And they said, we want Logan Webb in the package. Would you, I think it's an upgrade. I think it's an upgrade. I don't think they go, oh, no, Webb's off the table. I've had this debate in the last 24 hours with a few people today by text, and I'm like, Logan Webb, again, good pitcher, Eric. Good pitcher. He's decent. He eats innings. He's up there around the 200 innings.
He was fourth in Cy Young voting. He's fantastic. He's not just good. People, and look, there's people that kind of were, and look, it's up to you how you want to feel. The guy, he's an ace. He's not a Skubal, but he is an ace.
Skubal's still come alive. He's a generational player, Skubal. Here
we go. This is reposted by Ken Rosenthal. This is about, an hour or so ago, maybe a little bit longer. And this is coming from Cody Strafhagen, covering the Detroit Tigers. There you go. So he writes for The Athletic. Even entering Tarik Skubal's walk year, the Tigers seem fixated on the long game. Let's see. Monday night in a dim room at the Waldorf Astoria with the Epcot theme park glimmering out the window. Detroit Tigers president of baseball operations, Scott Harris, who used to be the Giants general manager under Farhan Zaidi. In his, as a matter of fact, he was the first GM that Farhan brought over when he first took over for the president of baseball operations for the Giants. Issued his most forthright comments on the Tarik Skubal situation yet. Listen to what he has to say. Harris had this to say in the context of why he'd previously been mum on the decision about whether to trade Skubal in his final year before free agency. I've been pretty clear. Again, quotes, guys. We know when you come on. I don't want to dumb it down or nothing, but if you see quotes, this is coming straight out of the mouth of Scott Harris. There's no paraphrasing. There's no summary. There's no detailing, examining. This is what he's saying. I've been pretty clear since I've been here. Harris said, I don't believe in untouchables at any level. Let me repeat this. I don't believe in untouchables at any level. Not at the low level, not at the medium, not at the high, not at the excellent. Any level. So anyone in our organization at any level. How many times does he got to say any? Seriously, how many times does he got to say any?
Yeah, but do you see a trend, Eric? Do you see a trend if you put the two interviews side by side?
Yes, exactly.
Steal your thunder
exactly. Again? Yes.
He sounds
exactly
like Buster Posey just moments ago. You just changed the names.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of
Maybe they could work. Maybe they could work together.
Maybe they could work together. I don't believe in untouchables at any level. So anyone in our organization at any level, it's not a commentary on Tarik specifically. Sort of a blanket team building approach. I think I can't do my job without listening. Who else is listening, Glenn? Who else is listening?
Who's listening?
Buster Posey. Who's he listening on?
Yeah, he's listening.
Bryce Eldridge.
Yeah.
So, okay. I can't do my job without exploring anything that may or may not have legs. Mm-hmm. Some are maybe very likely moves, and some are going to be extremely unlikely. Okay, I dig it. But you can't actually fully vet those opportunities unless you are willing to listen. So that's how we're doing it. Again, this is coming from the guy who writes for the Detroit Tigers on the Athletic. In other words, he's kind of like he's like the Andrew Baggerly of the Giants, but he writes for the Detroit Tigers. Again, Ken Rosenthal had reposted that. I found that
so Eric, I gotta say it. Harris, Posey. There's been a few quotes here from senior softball games, and he's talking about, hey, Glenn, everyone says it. They're untouchable. I'm seeing an exact 180 this year, Eric.
No,
nobody's untouchable.
What did the Pittsburgh Pirates say about Paul Skeens? Did they say he's untouchable, or did they say we're not trading him? Come on, someone answer, because I know the answer. So, what did the Pittsburgh Pirates say about Paul Skeens? Did they say any and untouchable and anything? Did Pittsburgh Pirates say that about Paul Skeens?
Yeah, but if they go out and get a Philadelphia Philly particular DH that comes to mind, Eric, I don't think they're going to trade Skeens.
Exactly. We aren't trading him. They came out. The owner of the Pittsburgh Pirates has come out and said, we are not trading Paul Skeens. So there you go. And look, you could come out and say that. Look, the Giants could come out and say, hey, we don't want it. We believe in Bryce, and he is going to be a Giant of the future. They could easily say that, right? Right? So look, now, am I saying that they're automatically going to trade Eldridge? That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is there is a potential where the Giants could go out there and trade Eldridge for whoever. We don't know. He may stick with the Giants. Again,
there he is.
This is the beauty of the winter meetings, because there's so many variables in play. You just don't know what's going to happen. You just don't know. Period. Okay, now let's do this. Let's do this exercise. What do you think will take to trade for a Tarik Skubal? What are, as San Francisco Giants fans, what are you, if Skubal is available, who are you happy with seeing going to Detroit in order to get the services of one Tarik Skubal? I'm interested to see, is there nobody that you want to give up to get Tarik? Or is there a comment? Look, it's not, Eldridge isn't going to be the only one that goes. He's a top prospect, but he alone is not getting this done. He's going to be the top guy. He's going to be the top guy. And Devers isn't going. Come on, Senior.
I think, Eric, if the deal was to get done, I think that Eldridge.
Okay. This is what you're willing to give part ways with.
Well, I'm just saying, if I know what Detroit will want.
Okay.
Eldridge, Seymour. I would dare say Birdsong. I wouldn't be surprised if they said Tidwell. They're going to go with young. They got to replenish the pitch, and they're going to go with our best young pitching, Eric. That's my opinion. Plus, obviously, the key piece will be Eldridge. But
no, Senior, they don't want to pay. They don't want to pay the contracts. That's what you got. That's what you got to figure out. They don't want to pay $30 million a year for Devers. That's not going to happen. And the Giants just traded for him. There's no way that they're doing that. It doesn't make sense.
They're going to go with guys who they got leverage over, and they're going to get them young and cheap for a while. And all those guys, yes. Seymour, Harrison, all these Harrison,
Eldridge, Davidson, and Roop.
Ooh,
that could get it done. I don't want to. I really don't want to part with Roop. I'd rather part with a Wisenhunt or somebody. I mean, honestly,
I think Birdsong. Birdsong. I think some team will say he's okay. He's young. He's another young player too, Eric. So he has shown he can be a starting pitcher in the league.
So what you're saying is you got two big prospects for the Giants, which is Eldridge and Bo Davidson. Those guys right there are going to be your top guys for the trade back. And then you throw in some other pieces, right? You could throw in a Wisenhunt or a Birdsong, or how about Wisenhunt and Birdsong? I mean, you can, but you don't want to empty because you're going to have that depth.
Who do they got for catcher? Maybe they want Bailey. Give him Bailey. Just get a catcher back.
No, they wouldn't want Bailey.
No,
well, maybe.
Nobody
but
does.
You can't.
Nobody does.
Because if you're trading for Tarik Skubal, you're going to want Patrick Bailey behind the dish. Period. End of story.
I guess we can all agree, though, Eric. If that was to go down, this is going to be a massive trade. Detroit is going to unload Skubal, but they ain't doing it for a one-on-one. They are going to get a handful, Eric.
All right. Hey, before I could get back to the chat and see what they're saying, hey, we got somebody in the green room.
Now, a special guest appearance, Lou Marsden, on tonight's edition of Giant Sports Talk Live.
Hey, there he is. What is up, Lou?
Hey guys, sorry I was late. I was just at the House of Prime Rib enjoying an end cut. And like usual, the reservation for 5:30 became 6:30, so I apologize. But I'm coming in at a good time, obviously. You guys are talking about a trade. I think more what Glenn says. I think we're really lowballing because we're not the only team that could make a big trade for Skubal, and he's the creme of la creme. So absolutely. I think what Glenn says, maybe 3, maybe 4 players, maybe the 3 players he mentioned, and probably one of the shortstops that are in single A, double A. And
Johnny Level. I'll throw in Johnny Level.
I just think it's one of those things. We talked about last night, which was a great show, about getting Jeff Kent. This guy is like a Jeff Kent Bonds, pitching wise. We talked about this guy's the combination of the freak, probably 3 of our aces all in one. He's a big guy like Kane, big guy like Madison, and the freak all in one. So, and by the way, you got to remember one thing. The Giants haven't had anyone like this in 10 years. We've tried. If you can get him, you almost want to give up whatever you can, not from the main roster, that you can get him. But here's the thing. Is he going to come and sign, or are we only talking the 1 year left on the contract?
Oh, you know what? It's going to entail an extension. It has to.
Yeah. I think you get him here, and then you just Eric, you just get him here, first of all.
Dude, could you imagine? Look, and I'm going to go here. Hold on.
Lou, you jumped in. I don't know if you caught any of the prior. We're throwing spaghetti against the wall.
Yeah, of course.
If you had to part with a guy from your roster, and they said, we want 2 young pitchers, we want Eldridge, and we want Logan Webb. Do you give him Webb?
You don't do that. You're shooting yourself in the foot. You can't.
Oh, see, I don't think so.
I would give up,
He's generational. He's not. Eric.
Yeah.
No,
Logan
you can't.
Webb is great. But
no, you need the rotation. You're not trading away from it.
Yeah, you need the depth on the rotation. But the one thing about how good this guy is this guy's 3 levels better than Webb. He's that good.
So he's the best of the best. Best of the best.
How many more years do we have Webb?
I think 2, right?
Yeah. Am I the only guy? Am I the only guy who pays for quality internet around here, or what?
Yeah, he's locking up. You're locking up, Lou.
Hold on.
Jesus. Hold on. All right, I'm gonna take. When I see you start moving around in the green room again, Lou, I'll bring it back in. But yeah, he's lagging. Oh, there he is. He's back. All right, here
you know what I mean?
There we go. Well, maybe not. He's lagging. Hey, I know. I understand.
I'll tell you what, give him a break. Let's go Skubal. Let's go deep sea diving for some Skubal, Eric.
You had
prime rib. I'd like a dish of Skubal tonight. Let's go deep sea fishing, buddy.
As I said before, we're most definitely open to trying to add some arms that we think are going to help us on the starting side.
If we got Skubal, Eric, you know what happens? We become a playoff team is what happens.
Absolutely. 100%. When you got a rotation, look at this. If you got Skubal, Webb, and Ray as your top 3.
There you go.
I don't
care. At that point, I don't care if you got to have.
You're cooking. You're cooking with gas. All right, real quick. Here's the problem, and the reason why I'm bringing this up. Tarik Skubal is being traded. I mean, he's gone, man. And if the Giants ain't going to be part of this, man, I'll tell you what. If he goes to the Dodgers,
Eric, I have a question. Most likely,
can't do that.
Skubal or Schemes? Which one do you think is most likely?
Schemes ain't coming. Traded? They ain't trading them. Pittsburgh's 100%. Already said they ain't trading them. 100%. Okay. They're not trading them. But yes, come on, Schemes would be freaking awesome. But Pittsburgh has come out and said they're not. Look, they're wanting to freaking offer Kyle Schwarber like $100 million over 4 years. But yeah, Schemes.
Eric, what about what? You know, I was going to give him a 15-minute boot, but I won't right now. Webb and Eldridge for him. Would you do that? I would.
No, I'm not giving. You can't give away Webb. You can't. You cannot give away Webb. You could give anyone else, but you cannot give away Webb. You just can't.
Oh, I disagree. Like Lou said, generational player. Generational player.
Well, what are you going to do? What's the difference in stay in Detroit? Because he's got no other rotation behind him. Who's after Skubal? In Detroit, who else is behind Jack Flaherty? Casey Mize? Really? I mean, would you consider that be a Logan Webb or a Robbie Ray? No way. You got Robbie Ray, who earned the Cy Young. You got freaking Logan Webb, who's gotten Cy Young votes in the last couple of years. No way. Reese Olson. Reese Olson. Come on.
Eric, but I think you're missing the big picture, Eric. I think you're missing the big picture. I think you are looking at it like, oh, we'll get. I honestly think you're short selling him. Oh, we'll just give him. I don't mind giving these prospects. I'll give them all the prospects. They're going to want somebody, Eric.
No, I hear you.
And to get Skubal, Judge, Ohtani, there are a handful of players, Eric. You do what you take. You just get him here. You do what you got to do.
Yeah.
Skubal is creme de la creme. He is the prime rib, right, Lou? He's the prime rib.
Yeah, talk about it.
I don't understand why guys are so worried. What has Eldridge done? I mean,
Nothing.
I'm just reading George's thing saying I would never trade Eldridge for Skubal. First of all, it'd be Eldridge and probably 2-3 other players, unless it's a player like Webb. You guys keep thinking that Eldridge is the combination of Willie Mays, Willie McCovey, Will Clark, and Jack Clark combined.
Yeah.
Okay. We still don't know what Eldridge is. And the other thing, too, it's Eldridge right now is at a prime 8.5. If he comes next year and doesn't do that well, he's going to be down to a 6, and it doesn't matter. I think the problem is too many of us, we fall in love. And I'm not saying Eldridge might not make it, but we're like putting so much pressure on a guy that's unproven, and we haven't had anybody. Really, when you think about it, who was the last superstar that was homegrown? Chili Davis? Brandon Belt? I mean,
and like I said before you joined the show, Lou, I don't know, I think you'll agree with me on this one. I said to Eric, I said, if they got, I don't care. I don't care who you give up. If we had Skubal, and after Christmas, I'd be counting the days to opening day. I'd be fired up.
And plus, he'd be going to a much better pitcher's park.
Hey, how about this? Opening day, you got freaking Skubal going up against the Yankees. How about that bullshit?
And Eldridge is really like, I'm not going to spend the rest of the offseason going, I can't wait for opening day to see Eldridge. That's the novelty is sort of wearing off on me a little bit. I want the juices flowing.
Well, and you want juices flowing.
Breaking news. Breaking news.
There we go. Jeff Passan, left-hander Steven Matz, and the Tampa Bay Rays are in agreement on a 2-year, count them, 2, pending a physical. Steven Matz going to the Tampa Bay Rays. This coming from Jeff Passan. Woo!
There you go.
We got movement. All right, carry on.
I just think that, if in this offseason, if they said, yeah, the deal would have got done, but we wouldn't give up Logan Webb, I go, great. Okay, we got Logan Webb for a couple more years, or we're going to have – you know what? The Giants, he's such a – Lou, he'll be pitching here. They'll want him pitching until he's Scherzer's age. He's Logan Webb. Get me that extension. Get him in here, and we're set.
I'll tell you what, though, man. One thing you can't allow to do, right, Lou? Because you damn well know the L.A. Dodgers are going to be in on Skubal. You just know they are. Now, it's going to be up to Detroit, right? It's going to be up to Detroit because the one thing that the Dodgers can do, if you want to talk about major league pitchers, they could offer major league pitchers. But here's the problem. Do they want a guy that is going to be hurt? Look, the Dodgers can manage with hurt pitchers because they don't care about the regular season because their lineup does enough to keep them in the game, right? So other teams can't afford to have a starting pitcher to sit on the IL for a length of time. You got to go out there and you got to pitch. For example, like a Glasnow, that guy's always notoriously hurt. That's probably one guy that they could trade, but whether or not they would want to do that, I mean, would Detroit want that? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. I tell you, man, the last thing I want to see is Shohei Ohtani, Tarik Skubal, Yamamoto, Blake Snell, and Roki Sasaki as their rotation.
But half the guys in our chat are off. I'm off the Skubal bandwagon. I know I don't want.
All right, Eric, I have a question, and I don't know if Glenn brought this up. That's why you'd only have to give up Eldridge and Webb because Webb's always consistent. He's not injured prone. He's been consistent and he's affordable. Now, if you don't include Webb, you'd have to do Eldridge, probably 2 of our young pitchers, our short. In other words, maybe you'd give up 5 guys, but if you do Webb, it's only 2. So you got to think what is worth it. And, it's one of those things where, hey, we're not in Buster's shoes, but if he wants to make a stance and wants to do something huge. Now, last year, he got Devers, And maybe we were so desperate we thought it was better than it was. But that's only one step. We need like 3 of these steps to be competitive. Because I think one of the things we want the Giants, and what Buster said, is no more third wild card. We want to be able to maybe compete with the Padres and the Dodgers to win the division. If you want someone of that, now if you don't want to do that, that's fine. But just admit to the fans, guys, we're happy with Webb. Except for 2021, we've only gone 1 playoff with Webb, and we're happy at 500.
You know what?
He's really the only
saying, and I don't agree. Look, if the Giants aren't going to go out and spend $150 million on Amai, what makes you think they're going to spend $350 or $400 million on Skubal?
Because it's Skubal, not Amai.
You know
it's
what
Skubal
you get.
And not Amai. No one who wants to spend $150 on Amai.
Why does everybody in our chat, more often than not, Dan included? Dan is one of the guys who's always doing this.
It makes no sense.
Do they?
Of course, because it's Skubal, not Amai.
They them up to be the greatest. Oh my God, Amai! They're not going to.
Here's another thing:
you don't know what you're getting for Amai.
Here's another thing: if you think that they're trading for Skubal and don't have an extension in hand, well then, come on. Of course, there's going to be an extension.
Gotta be.
Come on, look, think about this. This is his free agency coming 1 year early. That's all it is. Because is his value going to be any higher than it is now? He's won 2 Cy Youngs back to back. It's like his free agency. Because in 2027, who knows what's going to happen with the labor dispute? We don't know what the free agency is going to be like during that time. Maybe there's penalties for people going over the cap. I don't think there's going to be a cap, but there's definitely going to be more significant penalties involved, whether it's deferments or stronger penalties if you go over to CBT. This is the time that you go out there and you go and you put the freaking extension on the table. If there's no extension, then you don't trade. Easy. That's easy. I just do that.
Why? Look, I'm sick of hearing word of potentially trading Eldridge. Again, everybody's already fallen in love, it appears.
I know. Everyone fell in love with Luciano too. And what did we get for him? The number 9 prospect. Where is he at?
And you know what, Eric? And you know what?
What did we get for Luciano?
All these people who were bitching and complaining, Eric, you know what? Tomorrow they'd fall in love with Skubal in a hurry.
Oh, 100%. If there is a deal tomorrow, I guarantee you people are going to be all over the place saying, we got Skubal.
That's a great deal. We only had to give up Eldridge. The same freaking people who are, we can't trade him. People have fallen. Lou, they fall in love. It's a romance. The Giant fans are romantic.
And it's not just Giants fans either.
I mean, but imagine if we trade Jung-Hoo Lee, it would be like a riot. And it's like we're making him like a superstar, and he's not. I think the problem
is $9 on fake hair, orange hair.
And that's possible. Hey, real quick, Limbo Gaming. Haven't seen you in a chat before. Welcome to the fraternity we call Giant Sports Talk Live. He may not, but here's the thing. I think Skubal's getting traded, man. The way look, Scott Harris didn't come out and have a vote of confidence that they're going to be keeping Skubal. It just doesn't. He's going to go somewhere, and I'm telling you, if he goes to the Mets, whatever. Nothing we could do about that. But if he goes to the damn Dodgers, man,
I'm so sick already of hearing that we can't get Skubal, Eric. All these same people.
Yeah,
Eric, we couldn't get Devers. No way, we couldn't get Devers.
Yeah, I guarantee you, if we were on this show in May and say, you know what, we should trade for Devers.
Oh, we'll never get
everybody. Nope. Everybody would be saying, "Oh, yeah, it's gonna happen."
Skubal, I get to fire up the light tomorrow. How about that?
That would be nice. Hey, you know what? Though? I'll tell you what.
Hey, Eric, the one thing that some of the chat might not know, and I don't know if you brought it up, but Scott Harris used to work for the Giants, so he knows who we have in the farm system. Maybe if people were not talking, he also realizes somebody brought up, "Oh, look at Skubal's agent." Okay, you guys keep bringing up the agent. He's got Buster in his palm of his hands. Mm-hmm. Look at the Giants have signed of what's his name? Scott's agent. I mean, who's the agent we're talking about with Skubal?
Scott Boras.
Scott Boras. Look, Giants, the last 3 guys we've picked up have all been his agent. He's been the agent for it. So don't use the agent. Yeah. Boras loves the Giants. You know, with Kratman at third, he's the one Buster signed him, said, hey, no trade clause. We're going to do it. That was him. Adames, Jung Hoo Lee, all these guys. So stop using the agent. He loves the Giants because Giants overpay for his players. He's got him in the palm of his hand. Buster doesn't know any better. That's all I'm saying. So let's stop doing that. But I think it's the one thing is, guys, we need to improve the team. I don't know why you guys keep thinking that we're going to be able to improve the team unless we give something up in a trade. Okay, that's the only way it's going to happen. I'm sorry. But if you guys are happy being 500 and finishing third or fourth, that's fine. But do me a favor. Stop being a Giants fan and go up to Sacramento.
Eric, if we're in a deciding
being 500.
Lou or Eric, if we're in a deciding playoff, if we make the playoffs next year when it's Game 7. We're Game 7 of the World Series. Do you want Logan Webb or do you want Skubal?
Both. How about that?
Skubal is better.
Both.
Plain and simple. Skubal
he is better. Of course he is.
And I don't understand this. We could never give up Webb. We could never
give up Webb. You can't give up Webb. I'm telling you, you cannot give up Webb. You have to. He is integral in why the reason why Giants went 81-81 was because of two guys. It was Logan Webb and it was freaking Robbie Ray. Because the rest of the rotation, minus Verlander in the second half, was shit. They're the guys.
So Eric,
you have to have him.
We're talking about that. See, you want all the eggs in the basket.
Skippy.
You're like, I want a World Series. I want a World Series championship team, but I don't want to give up. I mean, I can't give up.
No, you give up prospects, and then you give up. You want to give up MLB talent? Throw in a Ramos. Then you want to throw in Ramos? Throw in Ramos. Throw in Landon Roop. I'll be okay with that.
Of course you would be. Oh, just throw in him or throw in Lee. You don't just throw in.
They hold value.
The Tigers are holding some cards too, Eric. They're not going to be just bamboozled.
Look, hey, no, they don't, because Detroit Tigers, they got 1 year of Skubal, and then guess what's going to happen? He's walking, and they're out empty-handed, just like the Giants were with fucking Luciano.
Well, the problem is if they don't trade quality, then let the Dodgers take him. The Dodgers will give people
okay, that may happen. And that's the thing. I don't want to see the freaking Dodgers. If the Dodgers Skubal,
you get me all wound up. I don't understand, Eric. I don't understand the people in the chat. I don't understand you thinking that trading Webb and getting Skubal does not make the team better.
It doesn't. It makes the team worse because you're losing a starting pitcher that you need. You need
what the hell are you talking about?
You got to add another pitcher. You have to. You have to.
Lou.
You can't get rid of him.
Lou, help me out here. I need a.
So okay. So who is going to replace Logan Webb in the rotation? Skubal. Okay. Then who's going to be your number 3? Who's going to be your number? Or we'll say who's going to be your number 2? I guess it's going to be Ray. Who's going to be your number 3? Who's going to be your 4 and who's going to be your 5? Are we bringing in freaking Scherzer? We going to bring in Gallen? No way, man. You got to hold on to Webb. You do not trade Webb.
So you don't trade. You got to hang on to Webb so a deal doesn't get done. So
it's not going to get done. That's not going to be making or breaking it.
Well, at the end of the day, we're not better.
Eldridge is the key. They are not going to trade.
Logan Webb. He pitched here last year. Lou, correct me if I'm wrong. He was on our lineup. He was considered our ace last year, right? And the year before, he's been here for his career. Have we made the playoffs, Lou?
His last 3 years, the Giants are 2 games over 500 with him starting. I know last year they were like 6 below. This year was a little bit better, but And
what's his ERA in the last 2 games, in the last 2 seasons? What was his ERA? And where was he in Cy Young voting? Right?
Oh, Cy Young voting.
4th. Well, I'm just saying.
He had a losing record last year. I don't care if he was 4th.
Wins and losses mean nothing for a starting pitcher. ERA, that's where you got to look.
Well, the team didn't win when he pitched. I just think we think Webb is a lot better than he is. I think Eldridge is a lot better than he is. And the other thing, Eric, what are we going to do about Ray? He's got 1 year left on his contract.
And there you go.
Are we going to sign him for 4 years for probably he's going to be at least 30 million? 120 million for him.
So that's the thing.
Get rid of him.
When you sign a starting pitcher, you got to keep that in the back of your mind that, hey, Ray's going to be gone next year. You're going to have another guy with Webb in there to lock down that rotation. You can't go out there and do you expect Gallen to step in Robbie Ray's shoes once because Robbie Ray's probably going to walk. Because no, I don't want that shit, man. You're look, and here's the thing. They said the Giants are in on it. Look, would you be okay if Framber Valdez was signed by the Giants?
What?
I think that'd be pretty fucking good, man. Framber Valdez, that guy's got a 60% ground ball rate. That guy, no one hits the ball in the air when Framber Valdez is on the mound.
Get Framber.
He'd be our ace. He would be our ace if we signed him.
The Dodgers get him then, and we'll never win. So.
Well, and that's the thing. And there you go. And that's the conundrum, right? That's
what's funny, guys, is we're talking about this for the last 20 minutes. This is what happens in these meetings in Orlando. There's probably 12 guys that have been there for 3 straight days. They're saying, guys, we got to do something. Oh, we got to do this. We got to do this. No, we got to do this. We got to do this. I just think the one thing that we're not really saying with Scott Harris, he's been in the Giants organization. He's a local guy. He left us to go there, which is, it seems like whenever anyone leaves us. I mean, we had a guy that left us because Seattle, boy, they're in the World Series. Detroit, successful. It's just one of those things where maybe just because he's done work with us, but I think, if you got to have to get rid of one of the big two. If you don't want to get rid of Webb, you're going to have to get rid of Ray because they're going to want someone. And again, it's only 1 year left. You're not going to be able to sign him for a major thing, or, what? Hey guys, we just can't get him. Then you got to do something with this team. Okay. Either you've been saying they need 2 or 3 starters. We have a chance that we didn't even get to the table to sign a guy from Japan. Okay, well then what are they doing? I don't want anyone that's pitching our division either. I don't want any of these guys that pitch for Arizona.
You're talking about Gallen.
I don't want Gallen. Gallen, was good in Arizona, and that's it. I don't want him. I think if we pay anything over $18 million for him, that's a waste. And I purely think the Giants need to do something. If they're not going to get a stud pitcher or pitchers, you better get me another hitter because I don't. Okay. I look at our starting lineup right now, and I saw Alex was talking about it. It's not good. Okay, we still have way too many strikeouts. We have nobody that can hit in the clutch. We're going to be in the same boat we were last year.
And absolutely agree with you, Lou. And again, this goes. Look, we did a show yesterday about Jeff Kent. That's the kind of deal that's going to have to be made.
Are you talking about a trade?
You're going to have to give away players. You go, you know what? The chat, Lou? No matter who we brought in, no matter who we trade, the chat will be, oh my God, he's all this young talent we trade. There'll always be people who they love this. They love what we have.
We traded Matt Williams, and Matt Williams, the only reason why they did it is they couldn't afford him and Bonds.
That's it.
Matt Williams was a great player. That's the only reason why they made the trade.
Only reason.
Okay, but, that happened, and look what we got. We're talking about a guy in Eldridge who people are upset. The guy last year, I know it was only a cup of coffee, but it was a disaster. Look at his
30%
stats.
Strikeout rate.
And he fit right in with the rest of the team. It wouldn't be as bad, but when you're 30% and the rest of the team's batting, 32%, it's bad. It's bad. And all I go back is, listen, Buster said the fans deserve a better product. I want to see it.
Did
Eric, I asked you the question earlier about Game 7. Who are we better with, Webb or Skubal?
Who are we better with?
Yeah, who are we? What makes us a better team? Having Webb, a number 3 as your ace, or Skubal, your ace?
How about Skubal the ace and your co-ace and Logan Webb together on the same rotation? That
would be nice too, but that doesn't get a deal done.
That gets a deal done. Look, you want me to bring up the trade value? I'll bring up the trade value.
Let's throw in Ramos.
Here. Okay.
That doesn't get deals done.
Let's do this. Let's look at the trade
Eric,
value.
You'd never get a deal done at the winter meetings.
Yes, you would. Because he's number 12 in the top 100. He's your number 1 prospect. He's the number 1 power prospect in all of
you talk about Webb like he's the number 1 pitcher in baseball.
No, he's not. He's good. He's good. He's good.
So why can we not trade him? Why could we not get Skubal and get another good pitcher?
Why? Because you already have him on a team-friendly deal. He's making like $15 million a year.
This is where I don't understand, Eric, where you're coming from. You're asking why? Why? Because you've lost Webb. You get another good pitcher, and you've got a great pitcher.
You're paying more.
You're making the team better.
You trade for Skubal, and he's in your rotation with Webb. You don't get rid of Webb, man. The Giants need better pitchers. You don't trade away a better pitcher to pay more for the same type of value.
Same type of value. Eric, you got a love affair with it's obvious now.
I ain't got no love affair with anybody. I watch baseball and he's good. Look at what his ERA is. Look at what his ERA was. It was just above 3. I think the year before that, he was just below 3. He's a damn good pitcher. You need him on your team. The Giants, pitching, defense.
We don't need him on our team.
That's where you go do. Here we go.
I'm going to bring up baseball trade values.
You need him on your team. Then who are you going to replace him with?
Skubal.
Okay, who's your number 2?
Ray.
Who's your number 3?
You go out and get it. You just said Webb's good.
See, now you're going to have to pay
another good
That's
pitcher.
The problem.
You can get a good Eric. Then you're replacing.
But you already got
Webb.
a good pitcher.
Then you're replacing Webb with another good pitcher,
and
you've got
no
Skubal.
sense.
You benefit. You've
That makes no sense to trade Webb and then
it does to get Skubal.
No, and then you pay for another pitcher who's going to be even more than Webb. It doesn't add up. He's on a team-friendly deal.
If you want to win, I mean, hey, keep Webb and finish 2 games out of the playoffs then.
Oh my gosh. You got to keep Webb. You have to.
At the end of the
otherwise
day,
you're just throwing money on. Then what? No, then just do this then. If that's the case, trade for freaking Skubal, go sign freaking Framber, go sign Ranger Suarez, and just throw $500 million, or we'll say $1 billion on pitching. But you can't do that. The Giants they're not going to go crazy. They may go above the CPT, may go above the CBT, but you're going to have to work this in to where you got good value in a pitcher already in-house, and then all you got to do is trade some guys, and maybe you get Skubal. That would be fantastic. I'm telling you, man.
Let me ask you this, Lou. If we had to trade Webb, but we got Skubal, and we replaced Webb with someone, does it make us a better team, Lou?
Well, we actually have an ace for the once. I mean, I think too many people think Webb is a lot better than he is. I mean, that's just me. I mean, to me, we talk he's an ace. He's not an ace. He's a solid number 2. Yeah. Now, he might be our ace, but when you refer to an ace, we're talking about a guy when you have a 4-game losing streak, it's an automatic win. Automatic win. And the Giants, to tell you the truth, we've never had one. Since Juan Marichal, we've never had. I mean, we've had guys that are 20-game winners, but they weren't aces. I'm trying to think. Kruko, he was an ace. He won 18 games. Billy Swift, remember we had 2 that year when Billy Swift won 22. The other pitcher won 21. But we've never had an ace. Aces are 1 in a million. They're tough to get. He would be he's like Yamamoto. Yamamoto's an ace. He showed it. But, Kershaw, he was an ace. Or Hershiser, he was an ace. We've never had an ace. Timmy was good, but he was never an ace. We keep
guys. Thinking, I'm going to have to do this. Come on, let's look at this. This is Logan Webb's. Let's look at it. Let's just go back to 2021, right before the shortened season or after the shortened season. Had a 3.03 ERA. 2022, 2.9 ERA. 2023, 3.2 ERA. In 2024, 3.4 ERA. 2025, 3.22 ERA. 216 innings pitched, 204 innings pitched, 207 innings pitched. Before that, 192. That's pretty freaking good. That's pretty freaking good.
I guess.
You tell me where else are you going to find a pitcher with those type of numbers? That is ace-like. That's ace-like.
The Detroit Tigers is where you find one.
And that's why you trade for them. And you have them both on your team. Bingo. Here, I'm going to do this trade value stuff.
Mike,
here we go.
Jason Schmidt. I forgot about him. That's a good call.
Let's see. Let's do this one.
Oh, insane. Come on. We go through this all the time. You guys think Webb is our ace. He's not an ace in the major leagues. There's not too many aces. It's sort of like how you guys you fall in love with players. Like Stephen Curry is one of the greatest players of all time. Okay. Curry is one of the top 5, but Green's not. His other players aren't. It's the creme of la creme. I mean, we keep thinking our guys are so much better. Here's the other thing, Eric, I completely agree. He pitches a lot. He's got a good ERA, but in his last 3 years that you've talked about, we've been under 500.
But that's not because of him. That's how he takes the ball once every 5th day, right? He gets 30 starts out of the 162 games. He affects 30 games of it. That's why you got to have a rotation. That's why you got to have a lineup. You have to have everything in sync if you want to go out there and win the ring, so to speak. You have to. Now here, let's take a look at this. Look at the baseball trade values. Again, gives you a rough estimate. This is what I threw in. I threw in Bryce Eldridge, Johnny Level, Carson Wisenhunt. That's an equivalent of 74.1. One Tarik Skubal is at 60. That's an overpay for the Giants. And again, that will get it done. Now, it depends. Is those the type of players they want to see? Maybe they want an outfielder instead. Maybe they want another pitcher. But those 3 right there exceeds the value of what it would get for Tarik Skubal. Again, this is baseball trade values. It's not perfection. It gives you a roundabout. So there you go. I mean,
Eric, I have a question. I keep looking at the chat. Is Webb better than Matt Cain?
I think he was. No, here, let's bring it up.
I mean, all these guys keep saying, oh, dude, you're nuts. I mean, everyone thinks Matt Cain was a great pitcher. I know it seemed like he was pitching in all the big games, but when you think about 10, 12, and 14, do you think of Matt Cain? Mad bum? I mean.
Matt Cain really wasn't the same. After his perfect game, he wasn't quite the same.
And how do we know we're going to have another 4 years of Webb injured free? He's now pitched over 200 innings 3 straight times. I think only two other pitchers have done that.
Because he's not high velocity. That's the issue. Right. He doesn't go out there and throw 98 plus. He goes out there and throws 93, 94 with movement. That's why you got longevity with someone like Webb. Now, doesn't mean that he's totally exempt, because it could happen. Here, let's take a
Eric,
look.
You're aware of the fact that if we did have Skubal and Webb on this ball club, that Skubal's your number 1.
Absolutely, he's your number 1.
He is an ace.
Yes.
He is the ace.
He's better. Look, if you want to compare Skubal to Webb, of course he's better. I'm not saying that. I'm saying you got to have them both on your team. You want to go beat the Dodgers? You want to go freaking get into the playoffs and go deep? You got to have those 2 guys have to be your 1A and 1B, period. All right, here's Logan Webb.
And I think it's a moot point. We just don't get Skubal because you're going to have to trade.
You don't have to trade Webb to get Skubal. You don't. And watch, if he does get traded, we'll see what it's going to take, but it ain't going to be a Webb-like player. All right, here we go. So Matt Cain at this particular time has over 1,000 innings pitched more. But there we go. ERA 3.3 to 3.6. ERA plus 120 to 108. Strikeouts, of course, he's got more because he's got 1,000 more innings. Strikeout percentage, Logan Webb has a higher strikeout percentage. The walk percentage, Webb doesn't walk as much as Cain did. So as far as numbers are concerned, well, there you go. I mean, Logan Webb's pretty freaking good. He's better than Matt Cain. Now, was Matt Cain excellent during those World Series runs? Absolutely. But when we're looking at the totality of his career, right now, Logan Webb is pretty freaking good. Pretty good.
And I'm not saying anything, but if you take away Matt Cain's perfect game, when you think of the Giants winning, is he the first pitcher that comes to mind? I mean, you guys are making like Matt Cain should be in the Hall of Fame.
No, he shouldn't be. No, he's not a Hall of Famer. No. Timmy is closer to being a Hall of Famer than Matt Cain. All right, here, let me look. I got a poll out there, Glenn. This is what I said. Nice. What would you rather have? Sign Framber Valdez, sign Ranger Suarez, trade for Skubal with an extension, or trade for Peralta? It's pretty damn close. 40% say sign Framber Valdez. 36% say sign for or trade for Skubal with the extension. 16 say sign Ranger Suarez, and 7% say trade for Peralta.
So you're telling me that in that poll, a higher percentage would want Framber
then trade for Skubal.
Then Skubal with an extension.
Yeah.
This is fucking nuts. I'm sorry, that's fucking nuts.
It's kind of in line because you look, people love prospects, right? They don't want to give them up.
Yeah, but Eric, you know what? It's giant fandom mentality. They love Bailey. He can't fucking hit, but they love him. I don't know. You know what?
This is a good one tonight, baby.
Well, that's great. Load up on pitching, and then we got guys who bat 200. That'll get the job done too. You're gonna have to make the team better. You got to give up pieces. You can't just say, Eric, if you and I are negotiating, you're like, I'll throw in Ramos. Like, fuck that. Give me Webb.
Look at Armand.
You like giving up a terrible defense. You take Ramos. I'm gonna go. I'll tell you what. I'll give you Ramos. I don't want Ramos.
No, dude. Look, the only thing
Detroit Tigers are in the same boat. They're on the other side. They want to make their team better if they're going to make the deal.
Only his glove. That's it.
Lou is new to the show. Lou, you see what I've had to deal with for a year and a half over here?
Hey, this is the first time we went at it for a while, man. We've been on the same page for quite a while. You can't trade Webb. They can't do it, man. You can't do it.
Yeah, but for a year, I was Mr. Negative over on this show, and now I'm thinking positive vibes, make the team better. And you're like, we can't give up Webb to get
you
Skubal.
Can't.
They're not
because
on the same.
Why?
They are not on the same.
You
plane.
can. I didn't say that. That's not my argument. My argument is you gotta not trade Webb to get Skubal. You gotta have them both. They both have to be on the team if you want to go do something.
So, in case I didn't get this out of the way earlier, maybe I didn't ask you. I thought I did. If they said, okay, we want, let's go back to Eldridge and Webb.
Mm-hmm.
Would you do it? No,
I wouldn't. And then you know what I do? I go sign Framber. I was like, okay, well then I'm gonna go sign Framber. That's what you have to do. You got to have that leverage. You got to have that leverage. You don't sit there and there's no way.
Well, how does that make us better
with Framber?
When the Dodgers go out and get Skubal, and then we're still missing the boat.
Hey, whatever. I mean, that just be the way it is, man. That's unfortunate. I mean, yeah, that's possibly that could happen. But man, dude, I tell you.
I think were you eating the weed? I think Eric's into the weed brownies today. Jesus.
Dude, hey, this is fun though, man. Look, we're passionate about what. Look, you have a way that you want the Giants to get better. I have a way that I want the Giants to get better. Lou has a way. We all want the same thing. We want the SF to be in the damn playoffs and get deep in the damn playoffs, man. Come on.
But look over the past few years. Am I wrong with this take, Eric? Look over the last, say, 5-6 years. And it's debatable when I use the term we were in on. So we're in on Judge.
Yeah.
We didn't get Judge, so we had to go another angle. We were in on Bryce Harper. We didn't get Bryce Harper. We had to go another angle. You're always don't sell the team short. If you can get, we're talking a star, an all-star, Eric. We're talking superstar.
Skubal would be a superstar.
Logan Webb is not a superstar. I hate to say it. He is not a superstar.
He's not.
So if I have to part with him,
but that's the problem. Just because he's not a superstar doesn't mean he's not a very good pitcher, because he is. He's a very good pitcher. And look, and I tell you something right here. Tell me, man. Get Skubal on the cover of MLB The Show, right? Because he won 2 Cy Youngs in a row. Put him on the cover of MLB The Show with a freaking Giants uniform on, and go out there and sign a bunch of freaking Skubal jerseys all over the damn place.
If you don't want to get, this is great. I love this. If you don't, I don't know about you, Eric. I'm yelling a lot, but I love this. So, Eric, if I'm the Detroit Tigers and I say, all right, you want Skubal? You work out a long-term agreement with him. Let's talk. We got a whole week here. You work out a deal with him. I'll trade you Skubal. You're going to give me Eldridge and Devers.
No.
See, you don't want to give anyone up. And
you're giving him Eldridge. Eldridge is the pinnacle.
Is the what?
You start at Eldridge and you work your way down. You don't go Eldridge and then, Devers. Come on, man. I got to go get a coffee.
Lou, what do you think, Lou? I'm telling you. They
think Eldridge. I told you, they think Eldridge is the combo of 4 players. Eldridge right now
they don't want to
on a scale 1 to 10.
They don't want to give up quality.
Yeah. Is talent-wise potential an 8, but right now he's about a 5. That's why at the end of the year, everyone hated me because I said, God, I'm a little shocked. I expected a lot more from Eldridge because people have spoken about him like he's the next coming of Willie Mays, Jack Clark, Will Clark, all of them. Guy still couldn't hit. I know he's young, but the other thing too is we need to win now. Eldridge might not be good for 2, 3, 4 years. So do we want to wait that long?
Well, that is one thing Eric and I have agreed on. The window is now for the next 3 years.
And again,
I'm just tired. Lou, you can make all the excuses about,
that's what the Giants have done.
The Giants Giants don't win. The Giants don't win. So that should make automatically, that should make Webb available. We don't win with him, so let's lose without him. What? Lou,
well, I think the super chat, the guy brings a great comment. You get Skubal to the Giants, it's like Ohtani. Everyone's want to be with him. You're going to be able to get guys who are going to say, oh, my God, I'm going to be your stopper because I'm going to have a chance with him to get an additional 20 saves. That's a great comment, JB. I mean, look at that. He's bringing up the exact thing, which is you get him, it's going to be everyone's going to want to pitch with him. The thing with the Giants right now is we have mediocre players. We don't have a superstar. And we keep saying, well, we can't get a superstar. Well, you got to start on the thing. Eldridge is not a superstar. It might be a little bit wild for him to be a superstar, but to get a superstar, you got to get people up. I think if you don't include Webb, which is fine, you're going to have to give Eldridge and probably 3 or 4 young pitchers.
Yep.
Where, it's just one of those things. What are you going to do? But
it's a great
again,
take. Great take.
I think, I never thought about, hey, you guys were all upset that Devers, you thought that was a bad trade at the end of the year. Everyone was upset. How would you guys not be upset if we trade? Now, again, it might be more than one player too. We don't know. But, are you guys happy with Devers for another 8 years at that contract? I personally would want to get rid of Adames if I had a choice. I'd rather keep Devers and trade Adames, but I think we're stuck with him. I think we're stuck with Chapman. All right, here's another trade.
No trades. Those are 2 no trades. Yep.
But that's a great take. That's a great take because nobody has lined up in the last 10 years because Logan Webb's there. So I think I'm gonna go to San Francisco. No, Skubal puts you on the map.
Skubal puts you on the map. Dude, I'm gonna tell you something right now.
Logan Webb.
Oracle Park, and you saw it firsthand, right? Lou, with Tim Lincecum on the mound, was it not electric in the park when he was on the mound? With Skubal, it will
You get Skubal, you sell an additional 10,000 tickets.
Instantly, right?
Instantly. For the season tickets. It pays for
Did you
itself.
hit the first super chat by chance from Gabriel? Did you hit Gabriel there?
I didn't see that. Sorry, I'm not allowed to. I only saw
Sorry about that, Gabriel. Hey, you're brand new in here, man. I have not seen you in the chat before.
He may never come back after.
He may never come back.
I was going to bring Lee up too.
I am sorry, Gabriel. we were in heated debates, and we totally.
But that won't do it, Eldridge and Lee. But I like what he's thinking.
Welcome to the fraternity, Gabriel. We call Giant Sports Talk Live. If you trade Eldridge for Skubal, attach Lee's contract to him in a deal. Free up a ton of money, and if you lose Skubal in 27, you have money to spend. Hey, I like what he's thinking. I agree. I agreed, Lou. Maybe you said an MLB player. Maybe you put and maybe you pay some of the contract of Jung-Hoo Lee. If you said Eldridge and Jung-Hoo Lee and Johnny Level or whatever, right? Or a pitcher, Landon Roop. I don't know. Wow. That would be something. That would be something.
But at the moment, Eric, you want to keep Webb because you got to have all the pitching. You trade Lee. What do we got? You trade Lee tomorrow. What do we got in the outfield? We got a triple A.
Then you're gonna have to figure it. Hey, go sign Harrison Bader. Put him into center field.
You're just telling me we can't trade Webb because then we'd have to go out and get another pitcher. But you trade Lee, we'll go out and get another outfielder.
Because you can't. Lee and Webb are not in the same conversation. They're not. You can replace an outfielder. Someone like Webb, no, you can't. Especially again at his value, he is literally making what is it like $15 million a year, and he's a fantastic pitcher. And look, and here's another thing.
He's not going to be the flavor of the week, Eric. This Harrison Bader. Last year, Lou, take a look at Harrison Bader's numbers: 57 RBIs and 17 dingers, and that's it, dude.
Pitching and defense. Because let's talk about it. We just concluded with the World Series. How do you think that World Series went down? Do you think it was because of fantastic pitching or incredible hitting?
I think
I can't argue. I can't argue with you, Eric. You know what? This is we go on for hours if we do.
Oh, we could. This is great, dude. I love this. This is fun.
You're talking about winning with pitching and defense.
Yeah.
And you're talking to me about, don't look at his wins and losses.
Because you don't. Not
the pitching and defense didn't win us games with your ace, Logan Webb. Eric, we're no better right now than we were last year.
Did you remember?
And we've got Logan Webb.
A couple of shows ago, I brought up the defense behind the starting pitchers, and the Giants were damn near at the bottom of defense supporting their starting pitchers. And the Giants still went out there and won 81 games, and the pitchers were able to still get stuff done. Even their defense behind them failed them. So if you tighten up the defense, right? If you get some excellent pitching, and then you add a bat, hey, go out. Maybe if you trade for a Skubal, you might still be able to trade for a Stephen Kwan. I don't know. Maybe not. Or you go out there on the free agent market, and there's not much on the outfield.
You want to give up Ramos and Weimer to get him. You got to get. We'll have no Eric. You got to give away good players to get good players,
and that's why you give away Eldridge. Eldridge is your Lee. He is the second most valuable player on the Giants according to baseball trade values.
Who, Lee?
That's who you give up. No, Eldridge. Look at this. He's that valuable, but yet how much does he contribute to the team right now? 0. So trade the 0 who has all this upside to get the freaking ace who is going to freaking go out there and shove. Man, come on.
What are you talking about? The ace get Skubal.
Yeah.
Well, again, then line up another. Then what about the other 5 players?
Or you just pay.
I told you it's going to be Seymour, Birdsong, Eldridge.
Well, you saw what I put out there. There's 3 players, right?
They're going to clean us. They'll clean us out of all our young players.
Are we going to be hurting if we lose Birdsong? If you got Skubal in there with Webb and Ray, are we hurting with vacating from Birdsong?
No, I would do that in a heartbeat.
Heartbeat, right? Eldridge, are we any different than we were last year with Eldridge gone? No. Are we any different if Johnny Level, who's participating absolutely nothing to the big league club? Go for it, Luke.
Eldridge in a deal. Eldridge in a deal is good for the Tigers right now.
It is
because of 1 year. They are not. Honestly, I don't think that they're going to sit and pull a Farhan and go, well, we're just going to hold them right to the last day, and we'll just bygones be bygones, and we'll lose them for nothing. The Giants do that. I don't think other teams. That's why I think these other teams. And there's talk, Eric. You were reading the story. There's talk. Harris. Oh, I'm open. We're open for business.
They are. He said it. Anybody at any level. Hey, come give us your best offer, right?
Yep.
OBO, offer your best offer. OBO, baby. And look, and maybe something gets done. Maybe something. Here's the problem. I just don't want the Giants to be on the outside looking in. You're going to have to look. There's different waters that they happen to navigate here. You got the free agent where you could go with Framber. You got trades depending. And look, there's other pitchers out there for trade markets, right? That may not cost you Eldridge. Freddie Peralta. It sounds like, I don't know what Minnesota is going to do. I have no idea. So whether or not they decide to trade him, that may cost a pretty penny if you want to try to get
maybe that's Sam Jr., the son of Sam. Dodgers are in talks on a potential mega trade for Tigers ace Skubal. Nothing done yet, of course.
That's who it was. Pingalore. He's from KTLA. Oh.
Okay. Well, there you go.
I'm telling you right now, if LA, he works for KTLA in Southern California. It's the big TV station down there, right?
ABC.
But don't worry about it. If they get Skubal, if they land Skubal, Eric, at least we know that we go to training camp, we got Webb, so we're good.
Skubal, Webb, and Ray, dude, we're winning some things. We're winning games.
If the Dodgers get him, don't worry, we still got Webb.
Oh, fuck. Okay. Well, no, because that's different. Look, you can't. That's not the point. The point is the Dodgers have already got Shohei and Yamamoto and Blake Snell and Roki Sasaki. You don't want to add a freaking Skubal to that, man. Could you imagine? Could you imagine facing the Dodgers 14 damn times a year, and one of the 3 to 4 that you're going to be facing? Oh, geez, man. Oh, God.
This week, Dan doesn't want to trade him. Last year, I had to listen for like 4 months. Should entertain trades for Webb. We got to trade Webb.
Yeah.
Now it's, oh my God. The end of the world, the sky will fall if we trade Webb. I can't get, it's like a fucking yo-yo. Up and down, up and down, up and down. Oh my God, I need another.
Yeah. Oh man, this is good stuff. Good stuff. But anyways, if they trade for Skubal, there is going to be an extension involved. There's no doubt about it. You don't trade. That's what the Boston did that last year when they traded for Crochet. What did they do immediately? They got an extension done. And don't tell me that extension all of a sudden magically appeared after that the Red Sox signed. No, that shit was already planned. Come on. Let's not be freaking naive here. If the Red Sox could do that with Crochet, who's an excellent pitcher. Now, is he a Skubal? No, but he's damn good. I'll tell you what, anyone who trades for Skubal is having that extension. Period. End of story. And we're going to see what happens. Lou, I tell you what, I mean, today, not a whole lot of transactions taking place. Just a lot of Giants. And what do you make of it? We talked this in the beginning, Lou. You had Greg Johnson in the beginning of the offseason out there saying, we're not going to spend all this money on starting pitching. Now, today, from numerous sources saying, oh, the Giants are in on these big arms. What do you mean? Do you think they're just you think they're just trying to
I think it's all talk.
Cover for Gig? You think it's all talk?
I think it's all talk. We've heard this before. And I'll go back to when Johnson was still the owner and Farhan was in charge. He said, if you look at it with Judge, we finished 5th out of 5 teams for Judge. Yeah, we made a thing. Farhan also said we gave the exact same contract as the Dodgers did for Ohtani. We all know that's a lie. Giants didn't offer him, $700 million and backload everything. Farhan didn't even know what that meant back then. I think the one thing about the Giants is, I don't want to say they're cheap because they do got, 4 big fat contracts. I don't think the contracts are worth it, but I think the Giants really, you can't, and Eric, you brought this up last year. Their big move was Devers. They don't have this much money. And I think they're worried about the lockout next year. And they're going to say, listen, with the lockout, we don't want to go crazy because who knows how long the lockout is going to be. We made Devers. You guys got to remember, they signed Devers like a free agent this year. We talked about that, but that's a lot of money. If you just look at the big 3, how much money they've invested and how much money the lengths of the contract are, and we're not even talking about Lee, it's a lot of money. And, the Giants, even though the number 5 And I think, I sent you that list where the Giants are only spending 40% of what they made last year. It was like 40 or 42%. It's tough to run an organization where you have so many guys that, they're not really concerned about the ball team. It's all about the bottom dollar. It's sort of like, Pittsburgh right now offered their big contract 4 years for $100 million because they're under pressure. They're not spending money from major leagues giving them. So if you don't at least make an attempt to sign some of these guys, it's one of those things. I think, how can you believe Greg Johnson, where he said he didn't want to spend money, but it was his decision when they bought Devers to get the contract, not trade the players, but to take the contract on. And it's not like the contract's only 2 years. It's another, $8 million. 8 years we got to pay for him. So, I just think it's one of these things. No, George, you're wrong. Every one of these guys. Are you telling me that it was only for Judge, only the Giants and the Yankees? The Mets weren't involved? Other teams were involved? You're wrong.
Padres were involved.
Padres offered more money.
Yep, they did.
They don't say anything. Don't believe anything the Giants say because you guys are wrong. The Giants are all talk when it comes to these things.
The only reason I want to mention Skubal at all in conversation, Eric, at all, any given year, we wouldn't even talk about this shenanigans, right?
Right.
You know why? Kind of to go against the flow with Lou, I'm a little more positive this year. I've turned over a new leaf here in the offseason, Eric. You know why? Because now I've seen what Buster has done already. Take it on Devers' contract. Adames the day before the meetings last year.
Mm-hmm.
Buster, I'm sure Buster's working the phone right now.
Of course he is.
I am sure he's talked to the Detroit Tigers already.
Of course he is.
So I have a little bit of faith.
Scott used to work for the Giants. That's what I'm saying. Scott used to work for the Giants.
Yes,
he left the Giants because Farhan was in charge. So he knows that. That's what I mean. Maybe we're not thinking of the guys that really he wants. If Detroit's being cheap, he wants all young guys. So you go Eldridge. You go a couple of players Eric talked about. Guys, again, the best guy is even year dynasty where he knows about AAA, AA, and single A and all these things. I don't go that far down in the Giants. But they might want 5 or 6 guys. 3 of the guys, nobody in the chat even knows who they are. They might want our pick from last year. You never know, too. Wednesday's the draft. Maybe there's something in the thing where, hey, we don't have draft picks, right? Because of the signings. But I'm just saying, with the draft on Wednesday, maybe they want our certain players, maybe our player from last year. Because the other thing, too, if Detroit's cheap, but they want quality, Scott knows our guys in single A, AA that cost him nothing, that are potential stars. Maybe Eldridge is a star in 2 years. These guys might be stars in 5 years. When a team is cheap, they're thinking the long term. But what I was trying to say is the Giants got to win now. Okay.
Yeah.
500 is not good enough.
Senior says Tigers are in win now. I think it's the Giants. Their window.
The Giants are in win now. Giants are in win now. Because of the guys that they have currently on the roster. 100%. Giants are in win now mode. Tigers, I don't know, man. Who's the rotation? Right? And they scraped in getting to that third wild card. They went on a month-long losing streak where Cleveland surpassed them to win the AL Central. And they barely got in. Now, granted, they got into the DS and they took it to a game 7. But, come on. Detroit is a small market team. They're not going to go out there and pay. They already got freaking Baez's freaking contract. They're trying to get out under that shit. But, thank God they finally got off of Cabrera because that was an abomination. We'll have to see. We'll have to see how that works out. But here's the thing. Let me take a look at the vote. 72 votes. 39% say Framber, 40% say trade for Skubal. Look at that. You see what you did? You scared the poor people, Glenn. You scared them into voting for Skubal. I'm going to close that one out.
Usually that only happens with women, but that's okay. Scare them away.
Oh, man. Hey, let's shut the hell down, man. Goodness gracious. We've been going
Shut it down. I'm ready. I'm Eric.
I'm ready.
The juices are flowing. I'm ready to go another couple of rounds here. Jesus.
Oh,
and
my gosh.
Lou came in late. He didn't know what you know what? If there's one positive, Eric, Lou missed it. The two interviews, the clips you brought up and you read on the air.
Oh, yeah. John Shea, and then one from, I can't remember what his name was, that writes for The Athletic for the Detroit Tigers.
Harris and Posey, the way they were speaking to us.
Very similar.
Looked like they were,
very similar.
Those are two guys that could sit at the table.
Maybe.
He's got to go somewhere, Eric.
Hey, look, they know each other. They know each other, right? Buster Posey was a player. Scott Harris is the GM. They've talked probably during his time in San Francisco. So I'm sure they have somewhat of a relationship. Now, where does that go? Who knows? This is what's fun, though. It's fun. And look, it doesn't matter. We're talking about baseball. That's all that matters. All that matters is that we're talking baseball. We're hoping that the Giants could go out there and do something special. Once we trade
Webb, we can move forward.
When we're out there, and if they sign Skubal, or if they trade for him, I should say, people are going to be ecstatic. Don't get me wrong. Oh yeah, I'm sure there's going to be some naysayers, and that's fine. Everyone's entitled to how they want to root for their team. But man, that would be quite something when you have a rotation of a Skubal, Webb, and Ray as your top three. You're doing something. And look, and if it's Framber, if Framber is in there, you're doing something. You would probably, even if you sign Framber, you probably would have him at the top of your lineup or your rotation. You'd probably go Framber, Webb, and then Ray. Go lefty, right to left.
Lou, let me ask you a question before we get out of here. It's all about getting this. Jesus, I scared him away.
What the heck happened?
I was going to ask him, Eric, if we add a Framber and we still go into the season with the same lineup, no, any better?
I don't think it's going to look. It's not going to be the same. There's going to be some additions.
Got to be a shakeup, because when you look at the roster as it is now, people love Bailey. So you can't get rid of Bailey. Now we got Devers. People love Ramos, Eric. People love they chant for Lee. So where are we going to add bats? Right field scares me because I'm afraid that the new manager keeps his boy. That's my boy out there. And then you're looking. The only place we're going to get better is second base. So you throw Schmidt in, trade Schmidt.
They're not going to do that. Well, first off, you can't because he's hurt anyways. But I mean, you can.
Nobody wants him. Nobody wants him.
Anyways, let's get the hell out of here. I've had enough. This has been a fun one. Guys, we'll be back at it again tomorrow for day 2. Maybe we'll talk about some transactions.
Lou's back.
He's back. There he is.
Lou's back. Lou, before I scared Lou away. I scared everybody away.
Went off, and then we were trying to listen to you, and then I went off, so I apologize.
Lou, if we had a Framber, if we had a pitcher, a solid pitcher, and we got that 3-man rotation, are we really any better with the lineup and not scoring runs?
Well, you can't win with just 3 until you get to the playoffs. I don't know who our number 4 and 5 starter are. I don't want to have a number 3 and a number 4 who are 500 years old combined. The one thing about the Giants, and I think Eric brought this up a couple of weeks ago, you need about 7 guys for a rotation. And right now, I'm not sure who we really have after our top 2. We have a lot of guys, young guys that last year at this time, we had 3 guys battling for a 4th, 5th spot, if we remember. Now, one of the guys is gone, been traded. The other 2 we're not sure. We're hoping they're going to be okay as a 4th or 5th starter. But, I think right now, we need a lot, I guess is the best way to say it.
Ramos is bad. You can't trade Ramos. This is the problem. I agree with Lou. I agree with Lou. There's got to be if you want to get better, it's got to be a shakeup.
We'll find out. Let's see. Maybe they'll start doing it tomorrow. Hopefully. If not, well, whatever. We'll be back on here to talk about it again.
Yeah, anyways, but I don't want to go through the same shit as last year, losing in fucking going to Miami and getting swept, and 8-game road trip and not winning a game. Like,
I hear you. Well, let's get the damn team together.
And that's with them. So I don't know.
All right, guys, we'll be back here tomorrow, 8:00. Don't miss it. I'm sure there'll be more fireworks. Woo!
Thanks for backing me up, Lou.
You've been watching Giant Sports Talk Live with Eric and Glenn, a Northern Lights Entertainment Broadcasting production.